Thursday night, Elena walked into the living room like she was about to bless me with some life-changing advice. She had that fake serene look on her face. Chin up, lips tight, hands folded like she was a therapist about to start a session. "I need time," she said, calm as hell. I blinked. Time for what? She sat down on the edge of the couch like she didn't plan on staying long. "I've been feeling off, like I'm losing myself a little, so I'm going away for a week. Alone." I stared at her. "Away where?" "Tennessee. Some hiking retreat. It's all mapped out. No cell service, just time in nature to think." She said it like I was supposed to admire her for being so wise and centered. "I planned it a while ago," she added. "I just didn't know how to bring it up." I crossed my arms. "So this isn't a conversation, huh? You already bought the gear, booked the trip, and now I'm just getting the courtesy announcement." She gave a slow, smug little smile. "Does it matter when I planned it? I need this. For me." There it was. That tone. Like she was a teacher and I was the slow student who didn't get the lesson the first 5 times. I stood there, barely holding in my laugh. "You know what? I think space is a great idea." That caught her off guard. I saw the flicker. She expected resistance. Maybe some begging. But all she got was me agreeing like she'd handed me a gift. She tilted her head. "I'm not saying this is forever." "Sure." I nodded. "Totally. Just some clarity." "Got it." She relaxed like she thought she'd won something. Like this was a test and I'd passed by not throwing a fit. She stood up, walked over, kissed me on the cheek, and said, "Thanks for understanding. I'll text when I can." I watched her walk down the hall and disappear into the bedroom to finish packing. My jaw was tight, but my mind was clearer than it had been in months. If she wanted space so badly, I'd give her exactly that. But not the kind she thought. I walked over to the shared laptop on the dining table, opened the lid, and stared at the login screen. I wasn't going to blow up. Not yet. But I was definitely done playing along. I stayed up most of the night. Didn't say much. Didn't ask where in Tennessee she was going. She kept checking her pack, rearranging things like a nervous traveler. Around 6 in the morning, she came out in full hiking gear, giant pack strapped on like she was trekking the Rockies, not strolling through the Smokies. I leaned on the doorframe and just watched her. That bag was ridiculous. Too big, too stuffed like it was packed for 2 people. And she looked too polished. Face done, hair perfect, brand new boots. Not the woman I knew who used to just throw on sneakers and wing it. She gave me a quick hug, soft and casual, like we were roommates. "I'll text when I get signal. Don't overthink anything." I didn't answer. I opened the door, let her walk out. Once her car disappeared down the street, I shut the door behind me and stood there. The house was dead quiet. Not sad, just still. Lighter in a weird way. Like whatever tension she'd been dragging around had finally gone with her. I poured some coffee, sat at the kitchen table and called Darren. He picked up on the second ring. "Hey man, everything good?" "Not really. You got time to walk me through something?" "Shoot." We went to trade school together back in Indiana, welding and light construction stuff. But now he did property management and legal advising for renters and landlords down in Charlotte. Smart guy. Straight shooter. I trusted him. I told him Elena had dipped for a solo trip and I wanted to be ready for anything. He asked a few questions about the lease, utilities, bank accounts, who's on what, that kind of thing. I told him we co-rented the house, but everything, utilities, rent checks, internet, even the damn trash bill, ran through my name. She chipped in, but that was it. "So technically," he said, "you're the primary tenant. Legally, it gives you leverage if anything goes sideways. Start separating what you can." Quietly, while he talked, I opened our shared laptop and logged in. Her background hadn't changed in years. Still the same photo of us from a trip to Savannah. She'd left her browser up, and I knew that was no accident. Elena was careful, always. If she left it open, it was because she thought I wouldn't care enough to look. Wrong. I started small. Recent searches, hiking trails in Tennessee, cabin rentals, and then a full itinerary for a luxury lodge near Gatlinburg. Spa packages, couples massages. A line about romantic fireside dinners. None of that sounded solo. Then I hit the group texts with her sister's messages from weeks ago. Just let him believe it's a solo trip. He's not stupid, Lena. He won't check. He never checks. I kept scrolling. Then I found him. Jules. But Jules wasn't a girl. Not with those texts. Not with a selfie of him shirtless in a truck bed and her reply, "Can't wait to be out there with you." I felt nothing in that moment. No rage, no heartbreak. Just this sharp shift in focus. Like snapping into a new gear. I screenshot everything. Trip receipts. The group chat. Every message with Jules. I didn't scroll too far back. I didn't need the full history. Just enough to see it clearly. She'd already chosen her next move. All I had to do now was make mine. I transferred the screenshots to a flash drive and stuck it in my jacket pocket. Then I walked into the bedroom, looked around, and started mentally sorting what was hers and what was mine. I wasn't gonna trash anything. I wasn't gonna scream. But this was game time, and I don't play to lose. I went back to the kitchen, opened my laptop, and pulled up my banking app. First thing, moved my direct deposit to the personal checking account I'd opened years ago and never used. Took 5 minutes. Easy. Just like that, the next paycheck wouldn't hit the shared account anymore. She could figure out the empty balance later on her own time. After that, I called the credit card company. We had 2 joint cards. I was the primary holder on both, and they'd been mostly used for groceries, travel, streaming bills. I asked to remove the authorized user. "Are you requesting a freeze on the account?" the rep asked. "No, just taking someone off. It's not a divorce, just a change in living status." She didn't need more details. Clicked around. Done. The second card, same process. Elena probably had no clue how much of our life was riding on my name. She always liked to act like we were 50-50, but she never read the fine print. I did. I opened the other accounts, savings, our dumb vacation fund, even a rewards portal we shared for travel points. Froze the ones with shared access. Chose the reason. Suspicious activity. Need to verify recent transactions. Perfectly legal. Once that was done, I pulled out the lease from the kitchen drawer. My name. Sole leaseholder. She wasn't listed anywhere. Just one of those verbal arrangements couples fall into. We'd moved fast when we got the place. Her credit wasn't great, so I signed everything. That decision just became a goddamn blessing. Utilities? I logged in. Gas, electric, internet, water. Every single one was under me. Streaming accounts? Mine. The more I looked, the more I realized. This house wasn't ours. It was mine, and I'd been loaning her half of it out of loyalty. She wanted clarity. She was about to get hit with it like a brick wall. By late afternoon, I was sitting in the living room with a notebook, writing down everything I'd untangled. I wasn't looking to punish her. I was just making sure when I walked away, she couldn't pull me back. I didn't slam doors. I didn't make threats. But financially, I was ghosting her hard. And the best part? She had no idea. I remembered her smug little smile, the way she said, "Does it matter?" Like I was the one being difficult. Yeah. It matters now. I walked through the house slowly, checked closets, drawers, the hall closet where she stuffed her crap. I didn't touch anything yet. I just took mental notes. What was mine? What wasn't? What she'd get to keep? And what she'd lose? I paused in the hallway, looked at the framed photo of us from 2 Christmases ago. Matching pajamas, fake happy. I took it off the wall and tossed it in the hall closet without a word. Then I sat back down and opened a clean folder on my desktop. Label, Exit Strategy. Let her hike all she wanted. By the time she came back, the ground would have shifted right under her feet. I spent Saturday morning with a mug of coffee and her credit card statements. She never cleared her browser history. Never bothered deleting saved passwords either. I opened her shopping accounts, loyalty programs, even her email. Didn't need a password reset. She'd save them right in the browser. The lodge she booked? Nowhere near the hiking trails she'd shown me. This place was bougie as hell. Fireplace suite, in-room massages, 2 wine tastings included. And it sure as hell wasn't a solo setup. The reservation said, 2 adults. 1 king bed. I clicked into her Amazon orders next. New dinnerware set. Not our pattern. 2 weeks ago. Men's hiking boots size 11. That wasn't for her. Reservations for some horseback experience, with 2 riders and a romantic photo package. She wasn't even trying to hide it. It wasn't just cheating. It was planning a future. I opened her sock drawer, more out of habit than anything, and found a folded note tucked under a stack of old birthday cards. Handwritten, folded twice. He'll understand after this week. Or he won't. That was it. 1 line. No name, no details. Just smug enough to make my skin crawl. I stared at it for a second, then snapped a photo and stuck it back where I found it. She really thought she could vanish for 7 days, test drive some new guy, and come back to a clean reset? Like I'd just be sitting here waiting with open arms? No. I grabbed my phone and called my cousin Leo. He answered with his usual grunt. Yo, you still got space in the garage? He paused. You move in? Just need to store a few things. My stuff. Not hers. He got quiet for a second. Say when. Tomorrow. I'll swing by around 10. We hung up. I grabbed 3 empty bins from the basement and pulled my big duffel out from under the bed. First things packed. My camera gear. Every lens, every battery, everything I'd saved up for over years. Then my tools, drill, wrenches, stud finder, torque set. All of it went straight into the bins. I pulled out my clothes next. No hesitation. If it had my name on the tag, it got folded and packed. She could keep the hangers. Sunday, I loaded the bins into my truck, drove across town to Leo's and backed into his driveway. He had the garage open before I could park. He helped me stack everything in the corner, no questions asked. That's why I called him. Back at the house, I walked from room to room, seeing it different now. The couch we bought on sale? Hers. That coffee table? I built it, it was mine. Her bookshelves, her fake plants, the framed motivational quotes she liked. She could keep all that noise. I made a list of everything I wanted out before she got back. I wasn't just moving my stuff. I was pulling my presence out of her life. Every step I took made it easier. I didn't announce it, didn't text her, didn't leave clues. I was done giving her the benefit of the doubt. She'd made her move. Now I was making mine. Monday morning, I called the moving company before I even made coffee. Guy picked up on the second ring. Morning. This is Kenny. What do you need moved? My stuff. From a shared house. I'll have it packed and ready, just need transport. Quiet. Fast, in and out. He let out a short laugh. Got it. How's Wednesday morning? Perfect. I'll text you the address. Hung up and stood there for a second, staring at the living room. I knew what was mine, and I knew what I didn't give a damn about. I wasn't here to fight over throw pillows. I grabbed my phone and started documenting. Every item I owned got a photo, tools, electronics, speakers, artwork, even the damn toaster I bought last Black Friday. Took pictures of serial numbers, labels, receipts if I had them. Labeled the folder my property. No arguments later, just facts. Next, I sat down and opened a blank doc on the laptop. Started writing out a clean summary of what I'd done. The financial changes, the move, the reasons. No whining, no bitterness. Just bullet points. Attached screenshots. Messages from Jules. The hotel reservation. The note in her drawer. I didn't need to twist anything. Her words did the work for me. I saved it all, printed a copy, and slid it into a folder I labeled in thick black marker. For Elena. That was the only courtesy she'd get. Her texts rolled in while I worked. Elena. It's so beautiful out here. You'd love it. Elena. Hope your weekend wasn't too boring without me winking face. Elena. Got a signal finally. Miss you. Miss me? She was probably texting me from the lodge bed with Jules right next to her. I replied. Me. Glad you're enjoying it. House is quiet, but all good. She sent a couple more messages, light, teasing, like we were still in sync, like she hadn't already thrown this thing in the trash. I kept my responses polite and plain. No questions, no emotion. Just enough to keep her from seeing the fire behind the curtain. That afternoon, I boxed up the rest of my stuff. labeled everything, cleared out drawers, unplugged my speakers, cleaned out the fridge shelf that was always mine. Her almond milk and overpriced probiotic drinks, still sitting there untouched. I found one of her mugs on the counter and put it in the cabinet without a word. She'd never notice. She assumed everything stayed the way she left it. I walked through the house slowly one last time, checking corners, closets, making sure I hadn't missed anything that mattered. All the shared furniture stayed. The TV, the couch, the bed. She'd walk into a house that looked mostly normal until she looked closer. I tucked the folder into her desk drawer, second from the top. The one she used for bills and stamps. The one she never locked. Then I sat back down in the kitchen, stared out the window, and waited for the next text. I knew it was coming. She still thought she was in control. Tuesday morning, her tone shifted. The first text hit just before 8. Elena, hey, you've been kinda quiet. Everything okay? I was standing in the bedroom, folding my last set of work jeans. I let it sit for 10 minutes, then replied, me, just thinking, organizing some stuff, getting some clarity. That word, clarity, was hers, but I knew she wouldn't catch the echo. She was too busy trying to manage her own story. Mid-morning, another one came in. Elena, miss your voice. Can't wait to talk when I'm back, red heart. I stared at that little heart emoji like it was a joke. Back? Nah. You're not coming back to the same house, sweetheart. By lunchtime, I was done clearing out my side of the closet. My jackets, my boots, my duffel bags, all packed and moved to the truck. The only thing left hanging was a flannel she used to steal and a hoodie she always said smelled like me. She could keep him. That afternoon, I boxed up the rest of my desk. Tools, paperwork, the watch my dad gave me when I turned 21. Everything important was either packed, documented, or in my truck already. The shared furniture stayed. So did the TV. The bookshelf we built together, I let it go. I only took the books that were mine. She could have the decor, the fake plants, the scented candles, the decorative bowl of pine cones. Let her feel like nothing had changed. The more distant I got, the harder she tried. Elena, feels weird not talking to you at night. Kinda hate it. Elena, hope you're not mad at me. This was never about us. Just me needing space. Elena, you understand that, right? I didn't answer right away. I gave it a couple hours, then wrote, me, yeah, I get it. That was it. She triple texted after that. Some throwback photo of us in Asheville. Some meme she said reminded her of me. Then a selfie of her in a hammock, fake smiling with a book in her lap. I didn't say a word. Wednesday morning, I woke up early and had everything ready by 6. Movers were scheduled for 9, but I wanted time to do one last sweep. Make sure nothing got left behind. No doubt. No trace. I walked the house from room to room. The walls looked bare in places where my stuff used to hang. My canvas prints, my framed certificates, the old road sign I pulled from a junkyard and turned into wall art. All gone. I checked the drawer one more time. The folder was still there, marked for Elena, sitting on top of her stack of unpaid parking tickets and coupons she'd never use. I closed the drawer and didn't touch it again. She still had no clue. Still playing pretend, sending messages like everything was fixable. Still thinking I was just being moody. Not done. That last text came just after noon. Elena, I know this time apart is hard, but I feel good about us. I really do. I read it while loading the final box into the truck. She felt good? Good. Let her stay in that bubble. I didn't know her the truth yet. That came Friday. Friday afternoon. I sat across the street on my neighbor Will's porch, sipping a gas station coffee and pretending to watch football on his cracked iPad. He knew something was up. I told him enough to get a raised eyebrow, but not enough for questions. That's why I picked his place. At 3:07, her silver CR-V rolled into the driveway. She parked like always, real casual. She even hummed when she stepped out. That fake happy energy she used when she wanted to feel in control. Ponytail, oversized sunglasses, yoga pants. Like she just wrapped up a meditation retreat, not a week-long chiacation with her little side piece. She walked up to the house with her phone in one hand and her stupid enormous water bottle in the other. I didn't move, just watched. Front door opened. She went inside. 5 seconds of silence. Then I saw it. She stepped back onto the porch. Fast. And looked around like the yard might have changed too. Her face dropped. All that smug calm melted in one blink. She darted back inside. That's when I stood up and walked to the edge of Will's yard. I couldn't hear her, but I could see the pace. The frantic walking. She stormed from the front hallway toward the bedroom, then doubled back into the living room. She called once. I ignored it. She called again. I let it ring. Third time I picked up. I didn't say a word. Just let the dead air work. Her voice cracked. Where are you? What the hell did you do? Moved out. I said, like it was obvious. Just like you wanted. Don't play games with me. This is insane. You blindsided me. I let out a small breath. Nah, you left first, Elena. Emotionally, physically. You just thought I'd wait around like a good little placeholder. I never said I was leaving you. I just needed clarity. And now you got it. She went quiet for a second. I could hear her breathing through her nose. That sharp inhale she did when she was pissed but trying to sound reasonable. This is so childish. We were supposed to talk when I got back. We just did. I said flat. This isn't fair. I shook my head. Fair? You lied, Elena. You lied. Then ran off to see another man and thought I'd keep the seat warm for when you got bored. Her voice rose. I didn't do anything. I almost laughed. You booked a lodge for two, bought boots for a man, left me a damn note like I was your ex-husband. You did everything but print a brochure. Silence again. You didn't even give me a chance to explain, she said, a little smaller this time. You had 7 days. You just used them on someone else. She started crying then. It wasn't the full sob, just that shaky voice cry. The one she used when she knew she lost something. I didn't flinch. This is what space looks like, Elena, I said. You asked for it. Then I hung up. She tried calling right back. I blocked her number and dropped the phone in my jacket pocket. Across the street, I saw her move through the house again. Slower now. Pausing. Looking around like she was seeing it for the first time. No clothes in the closet. No toothbrush in the cup. No laptop on the desk. Just the folder in the drawer with her name on it. I stood on Will's porch and watched her realize what she'd actually walked into. Her perfect little week of freedom had just cashed out. That weekend, my phone turned into a war zone. First it was Elena, voicemails, texts, back-to-back calls like she thought pure volume might break me down. Then her sister jumped in, trying to guilt me with passive-aggressive crap like, she's hurting. You didn't have to be so extreme. I didn't reply to any of it. By Monday morning, I had the paperwork ready. Leo's buddy, Nate, a paralegal with more edge than patience, met me at his office at 8:30 sharp. He helped me file a formal notice ending Elena's right to cohabitate and freezing any remaining financial access. It was technically still a shared residence, but with me as the sole leaseholder and her not on any bills, I had leverage. Legal exit strategy? Fast-tracked. She got served that afternoon. At 2:17 p.m., she called me again, screaming this time. You can't just erase me. I live there too. You abandoned me. I hit record before answering. No, I said calmly. You walked out. I gave you what you asked for. You don't live here anymore. You'll regret this. You can't kick me out like some stranger. This call is being recorded, I said, and continuing it could be considered harassment. She hung up so fast I laughed. Nate and I reviewed the lease again that evening. He pointed out every clause she'd overlooked. Her name wasn't anywhere on legal docs. All the accounts, mine. The only thing we shared was a string of receipts and bad memories. Tuesday, she tried another angle. Sent me a formal message through a third-party mediator app she found online. Said I owed her compensation for emotional distress and sudden relocation. I replied with 2 things. A list of the screenshots from her messages with Jules, and a scanned copy of her handwritten note. He'll understand after this week, or he won't. I didn't even need to explain it. The tone, the planning, it all spoke for itself. Wednesday, she tried to say I'd abandoned her financially. I sent back her own credit card statements and a spreadsheet showing I'd been covering 70% of everything for the last 4 years. By Thursday, the messages slowed down. Friday morning, they stopped completely. No apology. No closure. Just silence. But I could feel it. She got the message. This wasn't about revenge. It was about control. And the second she lied, she lost it. She thought she was pulling off a soft exit. I turned it into a clean break. A few months later, I was living in a one-bedroom apartment near the river. Nothing fancy, but it was clean, quiet, and all mine. The first night there, I slept better than I had in years. There was no one moving around in the dark, no sighs from the other room, no passive-aggressive silence filling the air. Just me, the hum of the fridge, and the sound of the river when I cracked the window open. I started picking up my old routines again. Weekend hikes, morning coffee on the balcony, late nights editing photos. That little apartment didn't have much, but every inch felt earned. One Saturday, I walked into a bookstore downtown, looking for nothing in particular, and there she was, Elena. She stood in the nonfiction aisle holding some self-help book about boundaries. Of course, she saw me before I could turn away. Her voice was soft when she said, "Hey." I nodded. "Hey." She looked different, smaller, not physically exactly, just dialed down, less polished, less sure of herself. "I heard you moved out by the river," she said. "Yeah. It's a nice area," she added, then gave this half laugh. "I'm glad you're doing okay." I stayed quiet. She shifted her weight, tucked a loose strand of hair behind her ear. "Do you ever think about starting over?" I looked her dead in the eye. "You didn't want a relationship, Elena. You wanted leverage." Her mouth opened like she wanted to deny it, then shut again. "I'm not mad," I said. "I'm just done." She nodded slowly. "I hope you're happy." I didn't flinch. "I am. Really am." That was it. I walked out without looking back, got in my truck, and took the long way home. Driving along the river, I cracked the window and let the breeze hit my face. That whole mess. Every text, every lie, every quiet moment she thought I didn't notice. It all led to the silence I had now. Not emptiness. Peace. She wanted space. And she got it. Forever.